It's Tuesday, March 7, 2017, and this is your Barbados Day Morning News Update. I'm Kmar Jordan. Thanks for joining us, and good morning. It's a case of the devil and the deep blue sea. That's the assessment from former Democratic Labour Party Justice Minister Keith Simmons of the predicament Barbadians are finding themselves in with elections just less than a year away. He says Barbadians may have had enough of the ruling Democratic Labour Party, but the opposition Barbados Labour Party has simply failed to capture the imagination of voters. Simmons is therefore predicting that Barbadians will stay away from the polls when the election bell is rung.
I believe that this year's turnout will be the lowest in the history of Barbados because people are fed up with politicians on both sides. On both sides. Yeah. So therefore, I expect, and walking the road, that a lot of people are not going to vote. The mayor is not getting any traction. That's a problem.
Because of disillusionment.
Disillusionment. And unfortunately, people are fed up with the DLP. So we have a serious problem. And it's about time the politicians tell the people the truth and come up with it, because Barbados is in serious trouble.
Mr. Simmons, who also previously held the positions of health, education, and labor and youth within a Democratic Labour Party government, tells Barbados Today the current political system is in need of an overhaul and that politicians must be held accountable for their stewardship.
I am tired of hearing politicians talk to themselves. As a matter of fact, quite frankly, I think a lot of politicians on both sides just laugh at people. You know, because when they get in, they forget about the people, they get a good salary, and they, after 10 years, they retire and they get a pension. That's not good enough. They should have a recall system in Barbados.
Meantime, all indications are that a new man will be leading the DLP's charge in St. James Central in the next elections. The seat was held by George Hudson up to 2013 when he was unseated by the BLP's Kerry Simmons. Barbados Today has learned that the DLP plans to throw its support behind businessman George Connolly in a bid to reclaim the seat. However, at Sunday's night's branch meeting at Good Shepherd Primary, Mr. Connolly came under intense grilling from party faithful about his intentions. The party is expected to announce its decision in another 2 weeks. Meantime, the government has come under fire from the opposition BLP, but this time it's not about the economy. The BLP says it's disturbed about the high number of road accidents and is blaming government for bad road conditions. Our Sally Dean tells us more.
On the heels of the island's 12th road fatality just last night, when 48-year-old Anderson Joseph was struck and killed at Westmoreland St. James, the BLP's Shadow Minister of Transport, Trevor Prescott, described the island's roads as treacherous. He lists poor lighting on highways, roads filled with potholes, overhanging bush, unpainted road crossings, and malfunctioning traffic lights among the glaring problems. Warning that one road death is too much, far less 12 in the first 10 weeks of this year, Prescott called on the government to take urgent action to stop the carnage. He stressed that the island's poor roads could not be treated as temporary inconveniences, noting that many families were losing loved ones. Prescott urged pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers to exercise extreme caution as they go about their business. Sandy Dean, Barbados Today.
Thanks, Sandy. Well, untrained teachers in the nation's schools will soon be a thing of the past. That's based on a new plan outlined by Education Minister Ronald Jones, who reported on his ministry's performance at the DLP's just-ended mid-year conference. Mr. Jones served notice to those seeking to enter the government's teaching service that they will have to undergo immense training.
The Bachelor of Education is a new program. And you found that was reflected in our manifesto promise. We're saying that shortly, no person should be going to the classroom unless you're fully trained. And this will be the first cohort in another 3 or so years that will be going to our classrooms fully trained. We have 180 teachers currently at Eardiston doing the Bachelors of Education. There are 2 cohorts from the school. One cohort has the Associate Degree in Education. So we're training those in the evening program. The teachers who are already in there who don't have any training, they're also there in the evening. That's another 60. And the other 60 to make up the 180 come straight from any teaching institution, any teaching at all, secondary school, community college, straight into Eardiston. This will form the base of persons going into the classroom fully trained. So we have implemented that. This program will start. This program has already commenced.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only $2.25 out.
220 who? For what? That's the bear still news. I don't read about that on Barbados today since last night. That y'all only care do. 220 who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, public servants in Trinidad and Tobago will be smiling all the way to the bank at month end. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced yesterday that his administration will be paying billions of dollars in outstanding monies. Just last week, the Public Service Association had threatened that it was ready to take action if the back pay was not forthcoming. Mr. Rowley, however, gave assurances that the money will be paid by March 31st, but he says the Finance Minister will have to borrow the funds. On the world scene, same hate, new packaging. That's how international humanitarian groups slammed President Donald Trump's revised travel ban in the United States. The ban prevents citizens from Syria, Iran, Yemen, Libya, Somalia, and Sudan from entering the U.S. for at least 90 days. Iraq is no longer on the list of barred countries. 8 groups, including the International Rescue Committee, Amnesty International USA, and others, have quickly condemned the new directive, arguing that the ban still does not make the United States any safer. Well, on that note, we end our morning news update, but for more, you can log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper or email updates, or you can like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay in a supermarket or a gas station near you. Also, check us out if you're moving around Barbados Today this morning on Channel 99, that's on Flow TV, or Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Kmar Jordan. Have a fabulous day. And be sure to join us around midday today when Emmanuel Joseph brings our next update.